And hello, everybody. This is Wrath, Aeon of Ruin. I played this game at PAX East this year and really enjoyed it. And it's out in early access today. Again, early access. Don't we love that word? Those two words put together? But it's good. Playing it at PAX, it felt pretty good. And, this is very Quake-like, if you're interested, if you're wondering what this is. It is, it's extremely Quake-influenced, but with some modern stuff. Hang on a minute, I have to tab out. I had some technical problems, was gonna go live a little earlier, but the YouTube notification is not going to go out, so I had to restart my computer because some games don't play well with XSplit, and it's game hook, which means it has like a game option where it just automatically detects what game you're playing and captures. Some games, like Slay the Spire, just shut down. So anyway, name taken. Can I delete my previous one? I'll just make a new name. Sauce. Play on normal. XXX Vinesauce XXXX X Sephiroth XX. Cool. Alright, so, hang on a minute. Alright, so yeah, I'm gonna jump into this. This is gonna be fun. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so, you'll even hear some, like, meaty McFuckhuge men noises. But yeah, that's you know, the game is basically just... You have different items and stuff. You can save your progress with artifacts. And, I think this is the hub world. Again, when I played this at PAX, I only played like a level. And it was a good one, but I failed. But this, yeah, goes along with Ion Fury and that other one. What was the name of that other game, chat? The one that's like hexen a little bit? With the axes? Well, Dusk, and there was another one. What's the... Medieval, thank you, Medieval. Hang on, let me get this volume. This is a very loud game so far. Unless maybe my volume is a little messed up. Let me know how the volume sounds, chat. Keep me updated. How is this? Good? So, weirdly enough, this is the one I was more excited about than Ion Fury, than Dusk. Hang on a second. Do I only have, like... couple options here for this? Well, that won't do. Alright, we'll just stick with... We could use a little bit more mouse sensitivity options. Okay. Turn sound effects down? It sounds like the music is too loud. Vinny, you're still live on YouTube. No? Oh, I am. You were right. Thanks for telling me. God, yeah, sorry everybody. Just gotta get my settings all in check, and, I think there's even some weird... Look at this. You can even do this if you want to, like, vomit. That's one way to do it. But there's other ways to do it, too. Like, you could just do double. Double looks pretty good. Just to get some chunky pixel jams. but otherwise it's not too bad. It's a little Quake-ish. I'm just gonna go for the usual, for the pixel scaling, its regular amount. I think it looks good. Now, chat, correct me if I'm wrong, but does this use the Quake engine, but a modified version of it? It does. Okay. Well, I think I have options. Real quick. So there's that one over there. Okay. Let's see. There's a swamp here. Yeah, I like how this looks too. It's just something about it is just very visually appealing, and not just on a nostalgic level. I think the nostalgia for Quake is definitely going to help the enjoyment of this game, but it's just a nice looking game. Oh, here's a weird tree you got there. That tree is locked. Okay, so I can't go into the evil tree yet. It's the Deku tree. Someone will mod this to have the Deku tree in it. Some armor shards. Now, again, I don't know how much of the game is available in early access. Okay, this seems to be a different portal. So, I'm gonna go to the one in the graveyard. There's stuff up there. Considering I'm streaming a million other games at the moment, this may not become something that I stream, like, a lot. I might just check in on it once in a while. But I do like this game. 2 levels, an hour long each. Okay, well then that's good. I could probably knock that out in one stream. So we'll do this. This might be the level that I played during the PAX demo. But the right click on the blade is used for platforming as well as stab. Which I think is cool. Also the head, you can kick it around and stuff. You get some nice chunky meat pixels and stuff. Cool. Alrighty. Still feel like this mouse sensitivity is kind of mental. Hang on a minute. Yeah, we need some mouse sensitivity stuff. A little bit more choice over that. Because I don't want to make my goddamn audience sick. It's also really dark. It is. Vinny, thoughts on Resident Evil 3? Well, we've been talking about it a bit. Can you turn off the view rolling? That? Yeah. And I say let's do it, but I think Capcom is focused on their multiplayer thing first. They're gonna release that, and then they're gonna probably do Resident Evil 3. I think that multiplayer thing should have been a DLC for Resident Evil 2. But, you know. That's probably where it started. The pistol. Look at this fucking thing. So you have a choice. 1 bullet, 3 bullet. As you can imagine, 3 bullet is pretty fucking cool. Vinny, can you raise the brightness a bit? Okay. That's as much as I'll give you. Yeah, this is a chunky pistol. Very, again, Quake in all the best ways. is how I would describe this for the time being. Also, getting some weird mouse, like, crust. Hang on a minute. Sorry, everybody. God damn, these streams end up... I end up troubleshooting them for a long time. Let me see if mouse smoothing is any good. I mean, it'll be worse for me, but better for you. The game seems laggy. I think it might have to do with me streaming it. Because this is not at all what, there was no lag whatsoever when I played the PAX demo, let's just say that. Vinny, remove head bobs. There are no head bobs. There are 0 head bobs. Is VSync off? VSync is on. Let's see. Can't tell if it's better yet, but we'll see. Alright, I mean, aside from the early access, it's also good that I'm figuring out the optimal way for me to play this game. So... optimal, or scub optimal. Take your pick. I only wish that I could destroy dead bodies. Look at that. Look at that! Again, soul tethers are save points. This is not a game where you can quick save. This is more, weirdly enough, kind of Dark Souls. Like, you get the save points, but you have a limited number of them. If I'm not mistaken. Shotgun. They had the shotgun at PAX. The right click you can charge and it unleashes like flak. That's awesome. It's like you said a bad thing. It's like you had a bad opinion on the internet. Or that dude did. That's like me saying, that this game was like Dark Souls, and then, getting flack for it. But that's really the only way I could describe it. So there's the soul tether. I'm gonna place that there, so if I die, I go back there. So, no unlimited saves, no quick saving to get out of any situation you may find yourself in. Yeah, I don't know if any devs are going to end up watching this stream, but there is a weird problem I'm noticing, and again, my system is probably to blame for this, as it usually is, but every 7 or 8 seconds there's like a little, like right there, there was like a little jump, like a little skip. Watch, I'm going to turn my mouse, look at that. What is that? What is that hitch? That's a frame limit issue? What the hell could that be? That's real weird. That's actually kind of killing it. I don't know. Bad PC. Turn off mouse smoothing. Well, I thought the mouse smoothing would help that. Turn on VSync. Right. Watch, it still happens. See? Still happens. Alrighty. Must be some background process that causes it. Try turning off aiming interpolation. Where do you even see that? It's like not even an option, is it? Soft... oh, animation interpolation. Oh, still happening. Well... yeah, I've done a full, like, exploration of the processes running when I play games. And it doesn't seem like there's anything that's overly egregious that's causing this stuff. And it happens in some games, but not others. So, I don't get it. This is a Vinny complains about his PC and video games for 5 minutes episode. Playing Modern Warfare should fix the problem. Actually, weirdly enough, Modern Warfare was one of the games that came out recently that ran perfectly fine. Up to a point. And then I streamed it, and it's like, nope, no you don't. Play it later to see if the problem persists. Okay, I'll try it regardless of XSplit and see. Okay, I unlocked a shortcut, which may remind you of another type of game. Jedi Fallen Order, of course. Are you using a Razor Death Adder? No. I wonder, like, maybe this game could use a map? Nope. Oh man, the fucking explosion animations are so fucking intense and satisfying and nice. Does your mouse have a high polling rate? I'm stupid, so I don't know what that means, but my mouse hasn't been an issue before. Reports per second. Polling rate doesn't do this. Well, the chat is trying to troubleshoot my issues. And, yeah, who knows? I mean, it's different every game, which is why I just have to go back to Babby games and just play Spelunky exclusively. Oh, fuck those dudes. You can't plow through those guys. How to get that? Vinny, what's your favorite chip? My favorite chip. Chip. You mean crisp? I think Doritos Loco Taco. No, I'm gonna say, I like the kettle-cooked salt and vinegar chips. Those are especially good if you have a mouth sore. Fixes it right up. You can tell that humans were all made differently, because if you look in chat right now, there are people that are posting disgusted faces, and many others that are posting PogChamp. And, what cruel joke has been played upon us, where we like, don't even taste the same things the same way. It's weird. But, yeah, I really like those chips. I didn't like them when I was younger. And then I got older, and I just found them... I forget which brand I like, but... there's one brand in particular that does a really, really nice job. What about pretzels? Pretzels are good. Dark chocolate covered pretzels are better. When I was a kid, I liked Funyuns. You know, the fake onion chips that look like onions. And then I tried them, like, semi-recently. I was like, yeah, they're okay. I wouldn't put them on my, like, A tier. I loved them when I was a kid. Now they're probably, like, C tier. Sour cream and cheddar ruffles. Oh, those are good. Good choice. Chip tier list when? One day, maybe. I'll tell you what, though. I don't even remember what some of these fucking things taste like, because I haven't had a lot of different types of chips lately. I'll tell you what I have done. I am now on a piece of paper, like human being paper. I am writing down my games of the decade. And I will do a little segment on that, in maybe no particular order, but I'll give you, like, my top 20 games of the past decade. And I'm also gonna do my favorite albums. I already wrote down, like, 20 albums, and there's a couple more that I know I like, but I didn't write down. You know, it won't be, like, anything, like, overly significant or popular, necessarily, but it will be stuff that I've played a lot. You know, stuff like Clockwork from Queens of the Stone Age, Plastic Beach, Black Star by Bowie, stuff like that. So those are some examples. By the way, Beck released a new album, and it's okay. I heard most of it. I didn't listen to all of it. So far, it's got some... I played a lot of the songs leading up to its release. And, you know, I've been talking about it, so there's that. And I listened to most of the album, the first half of it, and a little bit after that, so like, maybe 75% of the album. 3/4. I liked it, but again, it sounds like he's trying to, like, chase a lot of modern sounds and trends. There's, like, a trip-hop beat he's doing, like... In one song, there's, like, semi-mumble rapping, or maybe not mumble, but I don't know what it's called, but... his songwriting is so fucking good. He can write beautiful, amazing, hooky songs. But I feel like sometimes he gets bogged down in... especially lately with, you know, his previous album and this one. My theory is this. Some of these songs are really genuinely beautiful and amazing. And that's cool, even with the modern sound and the weird hi-hats. But... when he won Best Album for Morning Phase, and Kanye got up on stage, and people were posting on social media, "Who's Beck? LOL." I think at that point, maybe he was like, well, I gotta catch up with the kids. That's my... I don't know if that's anywhere near true. I've just invented that scenario in my head. But yeah, he won, Kanye went on stage, and then he started releasing very modern-sounding music. He's always kind of just done his own thing, but now, I don't know. That said, there's a couple on this album I think are as good as anything he's done. So I definitely think he still has it. And weirdly enough, there was an article today about how he is not a Scientologist. However, I hope he hires lots of security. So, in an interview years ago, you know, he talked about being a Scientologist or something. I think he talked about it. I'm not sure. And I know his father is a Scientologist. He was interviewed again for this album, and he said, I'm not a Scientologist. People just ran with that, but I'm not associated with them in any way. You know, and I just work hard on stuff. So the articles that are going up right now are... There's articles about Beck right now. Beck disavows Scientology. And it's like, he didn't really say that, and I'm now worried for his safety. Well, he shot himself in the back of the head 4 times. That's interesting. But, you know, no foul play is suspected. So please, God, let that not happen. I hope he hires security. I don't know how litigious or how terrible that thing is these days, but, yeah, so that's a thing. And again, the way the news made it sound, it's like he went out and lambasted Scientology when he just said, "Oh, I'm not one." So... Hang on a second. Okay, now I have to figure out where I'm going. Shit, I don't know where to go. Hang on. Maybe to do a platforming thing? That tomb on the cliffside. Oh, okay. But, you know, this is, again, the streamer's curse kind of thing again, where I go off on a tangent, and then I get lost. Oh. Oh! Oh! Hmm. God, that's fucking weird lag. Ah! Stop teleporting! Try putting this game's affinity on the last 2 cores and OBS on the first 2. Well, I don't know how to do that, and I don't use OBS. But I'm using my video card for streaming. So, I'm not gonna, you know... Yeah, this game can't be CPU intensive. It's just, how could it be? Also, I'm looking at it on an XSplit in the preview, and it's definitely chunkier than me streaming it, me playing it. Guess it's time to build that second computer. Two PCs meme. It kind of has become a bit of a meme, hasn't it? I love it. Oh, I love it. Man, if only we could get some Trent Reznor music. Just pick up a box of 9 Inch Nails real quick. whoa, 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 whoa. They just look like they're gonna hurt. Reloading this gun must be a fucking nightmare. Getting, like, painkiller vibes from this gun. Hit me with the chunky jams. Okay. Again, that right there was a perfect example of the game aiming in a weird direction that I... Oh, man. Hypothetically speaking, if you had the ability to make a sequel for one game and it could be any you choose, which one would it be? A sequel to Chrono Trigger that isn't Chrono Cross. And I'd say that as a Chrono Cross fan. But I think it would be really nice to have a game that goes back into the world of Chrono Trigger and explores some other stuff in there. Or a reimagining of it. I'm not really sure, but I would like that. However, I hope the stipulation is also you can get a sequel made to one game, but it will be a good sequel, guaranteed. Some people are saying, someone in chat said my issues could be in regards to Windows 10. Because they upgraded to Windows 8.1, there could be issues there. I've been using Windows 10, I mean, maybe. I would never discount anything, because that's the issue with computers. Every fucking thing could go wrong all at the same time, and you wouldn't know which thing it would be. It could take you like a year to troubleshoot. But I would say that even when I was streaming with my new CPU in Windows 10 years ago, there weren't this many issues. So... like, I streamed lots of graphically intensive games over the years, and there have been a couple issues here and there, and a lot of that has to do with just, I guess, the game's optimization. But these are new problems. But again, thank you, chat, for trying to help. I really, really appreciate it. You know, I have one more technical thing that I can tell you about, just for a second. You know that issue I had with Modern Warfare, where the fucking volume was getting lowered while a loud noise played? That happened in another game while I wasn't streaming. It happened in this game. I tested it out for like a minute just to make sure everything worked and, you know, was all good. And the volume lowered. It was like a loud explosion noise, and my speaker just turned off for a second. So, I'm now led to believe that it's just a Windows issue. That is in fact a Windows issue. Could be super easy fix in audio control settings. I've been through those settings like you wouldn't believe. I didn't see anything. Loudness equalization bug like I said, troubleshooting, it could take a long time. And also, with Windows updates, something usually breaks, and that you can't even do anything about unless you roll back the update. Go to Task Manager. Gotta do live troubleshooting now, chat. Hang on a minute. This, I mean, if you have any... I'm only using 21% of the CPU, by the way. So, this doesn't seem like a solution. Let's see. Right click. Task Manager, find the game's processes. Right click. Resource value. Disk. Nope. Affinity. Is that... I don't believe I have that option. That's my heater. If you're wondering what that little noise is, that's not my computer, that's my heater. It's cold out. Okay, hang on a minute. Set affinity. So I'll uncheck. I'll do 4, 5, 6, 7, and I'll do XSplit. Affinity 0 to 3. Nope, same problem. Worth the shot. Worth the shot. I think it's an optimization thing on the game's part. I mean, video games are just a bad idea, really. That's the lesson to be learned here. Vinny, there's a problem with the alignment of your hard drive. Dragging a strong magnet against it clockwise should help. Alright, give me 1 sec. I got a magnet right here. So... drag it. Alright, hang on. Oh my god! Are the cysts grenades? I don't know. I can't use them. I think they might be for a gun. Remember to switch off your poison sockets. What is that? What does that mean? In the game or in life? God, some of these weapons are so fucking satisfying. Okay, where to? Best man is went to. Are you guys watching with, like, auto captions on? Is that why you guys are typing weird stuff? No, chat is just weird? Oh. Oh, they're making their own story through highlighted messages. You do know it's up to the streamer to enable or disable highlighted messages, right? Just saying. Also, I'm noticing now, I mean, I noticed this, I guess, early on, but I'm noticing especially that these levels are set up much more like Turok than Quake. Quake's levels were still pretty long, but shorter than this. Oh god, what's this? What is going to happen here? Oh, there's an arena.
I am Turok!
Okay, not if that's a boss, then maybe not as long as Turok. Turok had some, like, several hour long levels. Let me just get all stocked up. I had spicy pizza. Excuse me. I had spicy pizza for lunch. Dinner, rather. I can talk, I swear to God I can talk, but I'll tell you about the spicy pizza in a minute. So, my friend Kevin moved to Australia many years ago, and I don't see him anymore because, I don't live in Australia. And, he ended up in town, and we ended up, me and several people that I like and know, went to get pizza with him after his adventures in Australia. And, keeping the con- And, no, he's good. And there was like 7 pizzas on the table. And each one was like a different one. One was shredded pork with, peppers and onions. One was a clam pizza. Oh, I don't eat the clam pizza. One was pepperoni and sausage. One was meatball. One was just fresh mozzarella, like a Neapolitan style kind of. And one is hot chicken with spice. So jalapenos and spicy red cherry peppers. And I had one slice of that. Just one. And I'm not sure I'm alive right now. How bad are you tumming? Well, the thing is, I'm not. No tums today. I had ginger ale. Oh, fuck. I had ginger ale, and I am not tumming it up because I'll tell you what. Too much Tums is bad for you. And I know that, and you know that. Even though I joke about the amount of Tums that I consume, sometimes, you know, again, a gastro would be very, very useful to help me figure out why I need so many damn Tums. But I think it's because of a Tum dependency. I think it's because I've weakened my natural calcium production by always having those chalky boys on hand in case I need them. More than 5 times and you're addicted. So no Tums, just ginger ale today. And I think I can survive. But let me tell you, I still very much know what that slice was like. Tum slut? Who said tum slut? Did I say tum slut? Because people in chat are typing tum slut. Is that like a tum bimbo? Like a tumbo? Oh my god, what is this thing? Oh, fuck this thing! I'm gonna need... Soul Steel! Full health. Vinny, you often talk about great films on stream. Why not some schlock for a change? I feel like that might be bait because I talk about Tommy Wiseau's The Room more than almost any other movie. I'm just saying. And Neil Breen. And we even have a script that we, as a chat, as a stream, are collectively developing, which I will not be reading for you today, but I will be reading for you soon. It's a cyst grenade launcher. There were people in chat who wanted to know what I thought of the last episode of Mandalorian, and I will talk about it. But we'll talk about that when we get to the Star Wars game. I love this gun. It insists upon itself. I get it. I get what you're doing there. It's just really good that most of the enemies drop cysts. Totally not the bio gun from Unreal Tournament. You're right, very different weapon. I mean, when you think of it, though, it's kind of hard to come up with a new concept for a gun. Especially because we went through a phase in video games where everything was a shooter. Okay, that's a little hyperbolic, but we had like this phase where there were lots of crazy shooters that were out every couple months, every month, all the time. And then you have mods that people made, like Russian Overkill in Doom. Every type of gun that could be made in a video game. Never mind, I'm not making that statement. I don't trust myself or that statement enough to make it. Never mind. But there are lots of different types of weapons. And then you play a game with realistic combat, like Call of Duty, which, I get it's going for realism, And it's like, oh, well this gun shoots a little bit faster than that one. That's one of the reasons why I like Turok so much. I like the wacky guns. I liked seeing what they could come up with. Turok 2 was so fucking exciting because it was like, that cerebral bore looks amazing, and those other guns look really cool and weird. And then Turok 3 comes along, and the arsenal kind of sucks. Someone said, Vinny, don't you like Call of Duty, though? Well, here's the thing, you can nitpick a little bit of a video game, and still like it. It's true. I basically the only thing about Call of Duty that I think it's the same game every year still, and I'm just gonna say that, yes, it's very similar every year. You know what to expect. It's a comfort food for some people. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. If you want to spend your money on that, go for it, but it's like, maybe take a year off. I know they have 3 developers rotating, but still, god, just a lot of Call of Duty. I do like the series, but one of the things I really liked in the old days of shooters like this, as people in chat were saying, boomer shooters, I just like the creativity of the weapons. I really liked, all the weirdness and, like, the wacky settings, and, like, I love that this is Quake-like, and there's crypts and demons and, like, flesh beasts. In Dusk, there's, like, cultists with chainsaws. And then you have weapons like Unreal, which Unreal had some pretty cool weapons. Doom had some really great weapons. Like, I love shit like that. And then you get to a point in shooters where it's just like, we're all doing World War II. So you know you're gonna get World War II weapons. And then after that, you get realistic modern warfare for a while. And it's like, alright, well, here's these weapons. And now we get this shit too. Like, we get that, and we get classic-styled first-person shooters, so everyone's happy. It's nice. Unless you're just never happy, which, you know, good luck on that. I try my best. I try to be a little happy sometimes. I tried being happy once, I hated it. But yeah, no, someone said future weapons are awesome. I like futuristic settings in video games for the future weapons, but I also like shit like this, where it's just weird, fleshy weapons and strangeness. Though I will say my future weapon arsenal of choice is Perfect Dark. I think I've said that on stream other times. But Perfect Dark had a really great selection of weapons that were both kind of what you might see in the future, on some level. Stuff that was a little more grounded, stuff that was based on real-life weaponry. And then it got stupid. Laptop gun, Farsight. Then you had, like, alien weaponry like the Farsight and other things like that. I like that one big gun that's just like a grinder that just shoots a million bullets with no need to aim whatsoever. I like not aiming, it's fun. The Mauler, yeah. So yeah, Perfect Dark was a really good mix. Reaper is the grinder gun, Mauler is the alien pistol. Oh right, okay. Thanks. Did you see how I just turned around 100% there? Like, I just turned around. That was not my intention. Like, goddamn. I can kind of make do. Like, this isn't an ideal situation. But when the fucking problem turns me 180 degrees around. God damn it. You spin me, you spin me. Ah, man. I just thought about that. Could be a really good Vinesauce meme song. You spin meat right round. Oh, actually, that song's already been ruined. That song has definitely been ruined. You know what I'm talking about. We'll have to explain to future generations what early internet was like, and we'll have to tell them, well, we would trick our friends into going to these disgusting websites. What do you mean disgusting? You know that song, You Spin Me Right Round, Baby, Right Round? Yeah, what about it? Well... Someone said I was never tricked, just forced. It would be cool when your friend would have a laptop, and then, like, you'd be sitting there doing your thing, yo, check this out, and then you look over and it's Lemon Party. Isn't that awesome? In college, when I went to college, they gave us all laptops. I mean, listen, the tuition, they accounted for the laptops and the tuition. But this was, you know, like when laptops being given away at a college was a new thing. This was a new thing. This was early 2000s, so it was still, like, kind of a novel idea. I'd imagine. That's my assumption, at least. And... so, of course, those laptops were never used for, work. It was used for me to play Star Wars Jedi Outcast, Jedi Academy. It was used for myself and others to show each other shock websites. Yo, check this out. What is that? Oh! It was used to grind in RuneScape while in math class. At one point, I had, like, a group of, like, 5 or 6 people playing RuneScape. And then we would go home and play more. For, like, 2 weeks we did that, because the game, it just didn't stick for most of us, myself included. But, mostly it would be just us chatting in class about stupid stuff while playing RuneScape. And then eventually, I kind of said, oh boy, I'm wasting so much of my time with this nice new laptop that I don't know how to responsibly, you know, have, because no one taught me fucking discipline. And I didn't, you know, I was 18. I didn't try. I didn't even try for the discipline. I was, like, out of high school. I was like, fuck this. School is for fools, man. And then... you know, my friends are all playing video games, so I may as well. Man. And then, you know, you pay student loans until you're, 32 years old. So after a certain point, I had to put the damn laptop down and actually take notes. And I noticed that once I stopped bringing the laptop to class, you know, the one that they gave us, I actually paid attention and took notes. It was amazing. It was like in high school when they gave us those calculators, the TI-86s, and everyone would just, like, trade games and play games that were terrible. Who gave? Well, I mean, I don't know. Like, there was a couple kids that propagated the games on the calculators. And the way the calculators worked is you would use the transfer cable and you would transfer your games to the other person. So, I don't know who the progenitor of these games was, but games had rarities. It's like, yo, do you have the Mario game? No, dude, I don't, but Caleb does. And then it's like, oh shit, I don't have any classes with Caleb. Where is he? Caleb? Oh, he quit school a month ago. Well then who has Mario Brothers? Only Caleb. God damn it. Oh, I'm out of pistol ammo. No wonder. Meat. So yeah, there was definitely times where it was much more appealing to play a shitty Mario clone that ran at 3 frames a second than paying attention in class, and that's how you did it. And you would make your calculators have sex with each other through the link cable in order to get the games. But these were mysterious, like, Norman Reedus's, trailblazers, you know, building these connections for all of us, doing the hard work of downloading the games, somehow getting these games off the internet and bringing them to class so that they could then give it to one person, and then they would give it to 2 people, and then 5, and then 10. It was the first Strand game. And this is a thing that even me explaining to you, the chat, now, I'm sure many of you did not have this experience, or some of you did. I know there were more advanced calculators that ended up happening later on. But it's a very unique and weird thing, going to school right at the beginning of the internet. Like, right at the very, like, birth of the girth that would then become what we know now as the internet. Even before social media, too, which is another weird thing to think about. I couldn't even imagine what it's like to see. This is the weird thing for me, is the idea of... Oh. Did I win? That was a little anticlimactic, but... Okay, that's one level. Took about an hour. The idea of people going to school with a cell phone, like a smartphone. That's a really weird thing to me. You can call me Boomer if you want. I just missed that window, though. I had like a crust phone at that time. Like, just in high school, I didn't have a phone. And then I got, like, a little crust phone, like one of those Nokia bricks, right around that time. And it was, yeah, if you had a phone, you were like, wow, that's amazing. Chat, when you went to school, was there a no phone policy? How did that work? No phones in class? But you could keep it on you, or could you just, like, not bring it to the school? You could keep them... You could keep them, but you just keep it in your pocket. You can't... You can have it, but you can't use it in class. Okay, so I guess the excuse is if there's an emergency. Which, for me, the emergency would be... 2:30 you would find out the emergency. or the principal would go over the loudspeaker and be like, so-and-so, you need to hurry the fuck up. I'm assuming this dude wouldn't have been here if I chose this area first. But then again, I have no idea. Maybe the difficulty scales appropriately. Yep, seems like it does. Based on what levels you completed, it seems like the enemies ramp up appropriately. Speaking of phones, there's a new Razor. Is that what it is? It's a Razor? It's the one that folds, and it's $1,500. It's got a foldable screen, so you fold it right there in the middle, and it's like a clamshell design that'll go in your pocket, and it won't injure the screen. I guess. That's very pricey, I think. And also, apparently there's a slight crease in the screen. At least seems a little better than the Samsung Galaxy Fold or whatever the fuck that was. That was a botch job. So we went back to flip phones. I think the future is there's going to be various types of unfoldable phones. I think that's going to be... It depends on how well some of these ones now take off and pick up. And how they could minimize the crease. If they can do such a thing. The future is gimmicks. Well, here's the thing. I wouldn't mind... I mean, phones got real chunky. That was one thing I didn't like about smartphones when I switched over. Is that they got real fucking chunky. I'm used to it now, and it's fine. It fits in my pocket. It's not a problem. But one thing I did like about flip phones was that it was just like a small little thing. And, the plastic would protect it. And the screen wouldn't get all fucked up. Granted, there are screen protectors. But it was a nice thing. So if they find a way to do that, that's, I guess, alright. The other thing is, too, like, there are phones that are going to be doing... I think the Galaxy Fold, the point of that fold was to turn your phone into a fucking tablet. So it was already phone-sized, but then you unfold it, and it gets bigger. So you can see, everything. Oh no, by then it's much too late. I've seen everything. So, that seems to be like a thing that's going to be happening more. I would never spend $1,500 on a phone, but if say a couple years from now, the technology catches up and it's, you know, appealing, it has a purpose. I think it could be a neat idea. There is definitely some aspect of it that seems nice. But it has to get way cheaper than $1,500, otherwise people aren't gonna fucking buy it. I think this razor is just like a very specific market test, and just to get the idea out there into the public consciousness. But until they figure out a way to get that thing sub 1,000, sub 800, I think it's gonna be a hard sell for most people. Phones are already over 800 for the latest normal phone. Jesus Christ. I have a question. Do they sell phones that cost like $10,000? And if so, what's the point? Like, my phone, it's an S8. It's good. I really like it. But Apple products? No, I mean like phones that are like $10,000. Is it just about flexing, or is it power? Or can those phones blow you? Or what do they do that's so special that they would cost that much money? Definitely flexing. Is it, it's name brand blinging, you think? Did you see Kanye? Just for a second, I'm gonna mention something. I didn't get the full details. Kanye was talking about, like, how commercialism is real bad and companies try to take advantage of you. But he's selling a plain white cotton t-shirt for like 120 bucks. Did anyone see that meme? That was like a meme. It got posted. Okay, you did see. Alright, yeah, I think I might be mistaking some of the context there, but I thought that was very interesting. Thanks, Kanye. Imagine $120 for a shirt. In that Jeff Goldblum show, I watched one episode, and the episode had, Jeff Goldblum learning about sneakers. And you wouldn't like, who would think? You know I have people locally that love sneakers, and they'll buy the newest Jordans, they'll wait online. Like, it's like collector shit, but for sneakers. It's not video games, it's not an amiibo. Happy 5-year anniversary to amiibos, by the way. But it's sneakers. But I didn't know how deep the rabbit hole went. And in this episode of the Jeff Goldblum in the Jeff Goldblum show, like, you know, they were talking about the prices of these things. And where was I going with this? And, you know, just the bling, the showing off. And it's like, well, you might end up spending, you know, 500 bucks on a pair of sneakers, but it's just for, like, bling purposes. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Jeff Goldblum was just confused. But I could be wrong, I could be mistaking him with someone else, and I'm sorry if I am. I might be just... Yeah, I don't know. Memory is fuzzy. Not good. Bad memory. Vinny, what's the most expensive thing you ever bought? Guitar. A guitar. Now, I'm at the point now where I don't need any more guitars. Well, yeah, a car. Yes, a car. But a car has a function. And I'm not going to tell you what car I drive. So... It's... Let's just say it is a cheapo utility car. It's a Tesla, PS1 Polygon truck. Vinny, what's your license plate? Now that, my friend, is the right question. No, it's a car that is good for just getting around, that's good on gas, that's a very, very utility-based car that I really like. But the point is, the guitar that I have I have several guitars. And you will, when you play music and you play guitar long enough, oh shit, you start to notice the differences in sound. Like, there's actually a distinct difference. Some, not so much. And some are just bling guitars, if you know what I mean. Like, for example, I have a Strat, so I don't need a guitar that sounds like a Strat. And there are tens of thousands of guitars that sound like Strats. So I have a Gretsch, I have a Rickenbacker, I have a Les Paul. You know, I have like a good selection of guitars that all sound and play a little differently. If I wanted to do another guitar, I could get something like where that actually serves a purpose and doesn't just look cool. It would be like a baritone, or it would be a 12-string. Something that sounds like radically different than all the other stuff I own. But it's a really fucking expensive hobby. You know, there are some hobbies, like guitars, obviously, you know, they're really beautiful instruments, and I think some are made, you know, with like the rarest wood, the most amazing wood, but it doesn't really make it sound that much different. Nothing you can't really achieve in post-processing, in my opinion, but that's... some people collect guitars that cost $10,000, $15,000. Crazy. But it's an expensive hobby. And just like amiibos, people can really get into the collecting aspect of it. So, on some level, we're going back to the Jordans. I get why people would be into the shoe thing, because it is a way to really show that you love something, and it makes you happy to collect it. Until it doesn't, and if it doesn't, then maybe it's time to stop. And then to take it a step further to the rapper t-shirt that's $120. Not only are you getting a plain white t-shirt, but it's not even really made in a way that's... ah, shit. Like, it's not, it doesn't even seem to be made in a way that's, like, interesting. Like, the artistry of it just isn't there. I don't know. Maybe if someone made something by hand, you'd be willing to pay more money, because you know, like, okay, there's a person that made this. They wove this themselves. This is like a custom thing. If someone made a custom guitar, even if it was just like a Stratocaster, that would be kind of cool, and you'd spend a couple extra bucks on it. But this is a mass-produced t-shirt made in a factory. Oh, fuck. Oh! What if Kanye touched the shirt? You know, the weird thing about that is, there are people that would spend the extra money on it because he did touch it. Yeah, I think you're right. But you know what the weird thing is, chat? These days, everybody's famous. You have a social media account, right? You're famous. Someone probably wants you to touch a shirt. But people keep trying to steer me into the direction of bathwater, and I'm not gonna do it. I'm not going there, chat. You're not getting that out of me. You're just not. I mean, there's also the idea that... okay, like, This is gonna get into the religious territory. Look, notice I'll go into religion, but I won't touch the bathwater thing. Dear God. Okay. So, if I sold you a religious artifact that was touched by a saint of some made-up religion, we'll call it Catholicism, you can't prove that that saint blessed or touched that item. You just have to take my word for it and spend the premium and cough up that extra buck. But that kind of stuff happens a lot. So, I mean, it's a weird topic because, yeah, it comes down to how much is it worth to you. And someone out there will figure that out and charge you the appropriate amount. Even if it's japes. Jesus bathwater? Okay. Listen, chat, we need to have a little talk. You can't just say Jesus bathwater. You can't. What lake was it that Jesus was, like, baptized in? You just gave me a really good idea, chat. Like, do we have it, like, Nazareth? River Jordan? Do they sell that? Jordan River water is sold, Vinny. It is. Oh my God. So wait a minute. What if you sell Jordan River water in Jordans, the sneaker, and you charge $1,000? Yo! It's really good. We all came up with this together, Chad. I'm just saying, like, I'm not taking the credit for these ideas because I know some of you came up with it before I arrived at this. You know, you can have it, but we'll go in together in this. You know, we'll do this business deal together, and we'll divvy up the money so that we all get an equal share. And at the end of it, we'll all make about 16 bucks, something like that. I just had a really horrible, awful thought. Oh no. I just had a bad thought. What's to stop people from selling their eggs or semen in the future? So that they can have kids with their favorite, like, influencer. They do that? It's like, okay, I don't want to know about the kid, but you can have my seed, and you can then combine that with your seed, and you can have a child. But legally, I don't own the child. I don't have to pay child support. You know, this is your child now. I don't even want to know about it. $20,000 for my seed. The worst part is chat is telling me to cease, but search your feelings. You know that this is something that could actually probably happen. This world is kind of fucked up. I don't know if you've seen. And people will do stupid things and make a lot of money for it. Playing video games on the internet, for example. But I'm really worried that that is actually going to happen at some point. You know how, like, celebrities now do, like, Fiverr? Or they do, the thing where you can get them to say something for, like, $100? Like a birthday greeting, cameo, same thing, same thing. Cedio. Oh god. Spermio. I hate it. Cummy. Oh, please! Chat, please! Now I need a tum. Alright, just kidding. Acid Refluxio. Vinny, you are equating sponsorships with semen. That was the joke, yes. That was the bit that I just did. Thank you for explaining it. I want at least a little bit of a finder's fee for this, if that's what that is. I'm gonna need like a little bit of the royalties for this service when it starts, though, because this is where you hear it first. Vinny, that's called a sperm bank. No, but this is the celebrity sperm bank. .cock. They should have, someone in chat said Tum Guzzler. They should have a website for those who are trying to recover from tum addiction called tumguzzler.com. Boy, hasn't tonight's stream been Christian? Imagine the poor developers that watch this. Oh hey, finally we get to see players check out our game. What's this top video? Vinesauce. I don't know who that guy is. Let's just watch. He's playing our game, he's enjoying it. Tum Guzzler. Celebrity semen? Cancel it. Just cancel it. But we're so close to shipping, just cancel it. Motherfucker. For all we know, you are the reason Half-Life 3 has never come out because of this. Or, I'm the reason Half-Life Alyx exists. For all we know. We don't know anything. I don't know. I know even less than you know, chat. I don't really know what to do with this. Need some kind of item, perhaps. Vinny, when did you stream Half-Life 2? Earlier this year, probably around the summer. They've been working on Half-Life Alyx for like 3 years. So... I can't take credit for that one. I mean, this has become a meme. Obviously, I can take credit for no game existing. Vinny, a lot longer than that. Do we have confirmation that it was a lot longer than 3 years that Half-Life Alyx was being made? because it was less than 4, the dev said so. Okay. Less than 4, dev said so, followed by they said 5, and then 4.5 years, apparently. Those are all the messages I just got in chat. So I'm gonna say between 4 and 5 years. That seems like a good guess, if that's anywhere near accurate. Do we think that those Half-Life assets that they're using in Half-Life Alyx were kind of designed after the fact that they wanted to do a VR game? Or do you think those were just knocking about? You think they were knocking about? Like they were making assets for Half-Life, and then they just used them in their VR game? It's just source stuff. I don't know, whatever it is. I'm just asking, because here's the thing. I've seen people say that Half-Life Alyx looks like the jump from Half-Life 1 to 2. It looks like that much of a leap. And on some level, I think as an evolution of the style and just the you know, the visual fidelity that we'd have now, 12 years later, yeah, I could see that, sure. It looks nice. It's a really nice looking game. And, you know, again, strong art direction goes a long way. But, there was 6 years in between Half-Life 1 and 2, 12 years in between 2 and Alyx, 24 years in between Half-Life Alyx and Half-Life 3. So imagine what that's gonna look like. Is that the, like, diminishing returns that we're facing now, do you think? Am I drowning? Or am I just getting eaten? Spill! Vinny, that's actual Half-Life scientifically. True. Yeah, if you think about it, it makes perfect sense. Wow, the name Half-Life is so fucking perfectly appropriate for this series. Oh my god. Oof. Vinny, I don't know if you stream this or not, but stream Stardew Valley, please. Okay. So I have. If you want to find out anyone, you can watch it. I'm good for now. I like Stardew Valley, but I don't think I'm going to come back to it anytime soon. But, if you are ever interested in whether or not I've streamed a game, just go to YouTube and type Vinesauce Stardew Valley, and that'll help. I just try to make that informational and not snarky. You even said please. Vinny, stream Stardew Valley, please. And I appreciate that. Please is a nice word. That's a very, polite thing for you to do. Thank you. It wasn't... you know... Oh, the thing. Coffer key? Oh, fuck. person in chat, I would just like to let you know that I read your statement about the previous topic, and I'm not going to be acknowledging that out loud, person in chat, because it was absolutely horrifying. Thank you. You want to know what it was now? Well, I guess it's too late. I've already opened this can of worms, so... Do you remember that business idea I had earlier? And I had several business ideas, including a Tommy Wiseau script. The question was, what if someone ate the business idea? So maybe, you know, it's harmless, like they're eating the Tommy Wiseau script. Not a big deal, no problem. But there would be people that buy this script and spend much money on the script just so they can do that. Yes, that will happen. That will definitely happen, yes. Well, may as well open a restaurant at that point, yeah. Oh my god. Oh my god! Jesus. I am definitely not using my items as much as I should be. Counter-Strike got an update. Modern Warfare got another 20 gig update. Don't know if it would fix any of my problems, but... Chat is still cursed. I'm so... Chat, let's not be cursed for a couple minutes. Yeah, Counter-Strike got an update where you can now choose different characters. So... How does everyone feel about that? Are we having problems with that? Does anyone care? Because I've had, some suspicions it's gonna piss off some Counter-Strike players. Tracer? Oh, she's in there. You can play as Tracer. And Kremrald you can play as. You like how they, like, paired the, Half-Life update with a Counter-Strike update? That was a good business move. Someone said TF2 is literally on hold right now. But what if, just hear me out, TF3? What if Valve, who is now making video games again, kind of. I say kind of because I don't know if they're making any other games, but what if Valve, seeing the rise of the class-based shooter, the popularity, the sales numbers, eh? Look at those sales numbers. Some good ones. And they're like, you know what? We have one of those. We definitely maybe even started this, actually. And what if Valve decided, just this once, TF3? With more than just 9 classes. 10 classes. They make enough money that selling a game is something they do for fun, not profit. Which is, you know, that is a nice thing. I want to say something about that system. I think that's really cool. Honestly, I do. I think that's fucking awesome. But it means we don't get a game more than once in 12 years. Or, let's say, 8 or 9. It turns out some people and some things apparently require motivation of some kind. I could be just reading the situation a little wrong. But if Valve is a company that's not motivated by money, then that's a good thing. I want to see the fruits of their labor. Please don't drown. Please don't drown. Oh, I could just use that to breathe underwater. That's silly. Not a single person on this planet believes Valve's focus isn't money. The person that posted it. So I mean that's a statement and a half, because there's definitely someone that believes that. But let's be real, Valve has more money than Jesus. More than likely. Steam was wildly, wildly successful, and they have a lot of money. And then you get down to the money problem of, like, what would you do with $2 million? Okay, great. Now, what would you do with $1 billion? And then you start to, like, you know, get into these weird exercises of either you're the, like, most opulent, crazy son of a bitch on the planet who buys an island and starts, like, terraforming Mars for yourself, or you start doing things for other people as well as yourself. Or you just burn it because you like to watch world burn. Haha, Joker. So if Valve has a fuckload of money from Steam, which I believe they do, it's not like they're hurting for a squirtin'. It's not like they're bruising for a cruisin'. You know, they could definitely take their time. They don't have to meet a deadline to pay the bills, is what I'm trying to say. So even if they are motivated by money, say for Half-Life Alyx, which I believe, if they were motivated by money, they would have released Half-Life 3, 4, 5, and 6 over the past couple years, but, let's for a second say that, you know, they had to pay the bills. Then maybe the, you know, the fire would have been lit under their asses. But I kind of believe that they are just, you know, they got so incredibly successful that they didn't necessarily need to make anything. They could have just did what they did, which is take their damn time. Vinny, what's your opinion on Tesla's Cybertruck? The truck, here we go. I like that it became a meme. I have confirmation from Elon himself. He told me that he was inspired by the movie Blade Runner. That's why he revealed his Cybertruck the day after Blade Runner Day. No, this is a parody, and Elon actually and I do not have contact with one another, just before anyone actually believes me. Because there will be some folks that believe everything I say, so I have to just say it out loud. I do not know any elongated muskrats. But It's an ugly motherfucker, but I kind of like it. The truck. I think it needs a little bit more revision. I get what he was going for. And perhaps it is something that with a little bit more customization and revision could end up looking like a cool cyberpunk future car. At the moment it just looks like PS1 polygons, which everyone is making the joke about. But I have a feeling that the backlash is going to serve two purposes. One, it's bringing attention to Tesla. And, of course, to their other products. Look at this. I'm gonna... Okay, Wrath developers, if you're watching, I'm going to move this at the same rate back and forth. Just watch it teleport. Please let me know if there's a way to fix this. You'll see it teleport. Just give it a second. Yep, you saw it. So anyway, yeah, I think it's kind of one of those things that, even though everyone's laughing about it and making memes, they're talking about Tesla. So that's one thing. It's now on the consciousness of a lot of people. And I think that because the reception to it was more or less just memes and laughter, it'll probably undergo some revisions. But Elon is an unpredictable gentleman, I'll say. Very unpredictable, because I have a feeling... I kinda have a feeling that the dude is just gonna wanna, like, ship it as is. Just to be like, you know what? This is my toy. I want a Blade Runner future, goddammit. Which, by the way, no one should want that, but, the reveal failed successfully. Yeah, I'd agree with that statement. That's a good one. I don't think he wants the Blade Runner future. I think he just likes the aesthetic of, like, the clunky-ass movie future cars that never came to be. I think that... I could be wrong. I'm wrong on a lot of things, as you know, but I do believe, on some level, in my mind, that Elon is a big movie buff that laments the fact that we're in 2019 and we still don't have, like, flying cars. And that we haven't gotten our ass to Mars, like in Total Recall. And I think with the ridiculous amount of money he has, he's trying to make that happen. He is a huge sci-fi nerd, yeah, but I mean, on some level, that's kind of, it's like at least someone's trying to push things forward in a weird way. Like, compared, like, okay, so the Blade Runner anniversary, we talked about what the future was supposed to look like, from movies like Back to the Future 2 and Blade Runner, Fifth Element, stuff like that. Even though Fifth Element takes place, who the fuck knows when, I have no idea. If you took someone from 1979, let's say, and you dropped them off here, and you said, guess what year this is? And all they had to look at were the things around them. The cars, the buildings, the LEDs, like, say, just Times Square. You just said, hey, what year is this? Show them a phone. Maybe they would say, like, 90s? 2000? Like, if you just dropped them off in Times Square, if you dropped them off in a lesser impressive place, they, unless they saw a cell phone, they might not ever consider that we were, in 2019, based on what sci-fi might have, led one to believe. Like, if you read a lot of Ray Bradbury and Philip K. Dick, for example, you might immediately start assuming, like, oh, we got flying cars, we're gonna be on different planets. God damn it. Wow. Okay, there's a weird UI thing there where I was just clicking and it went back to the menu. We don't have flying cars, but check out these Joker stairs. Joker stairs. Yeah, Joker stairs. Jesus. Vinny, say something? No, I'm just playing the game now. I've said everything I need to say tonight. Good night. I like to fill dead air sometimes, but it's not always necessary. I'm playing a video game, you know. This isn't a radio show. It's kind of easy as a streamer to fall into the trap of, I always have to be saying something. And the truth is, some people like that. And you can go mad trying to say something for 4 hours straight. So I tend to just, whenever something comes to mind and I have interesting things to say about celebritysemen.cock, then I'll tell you. I try to at least. But I don't always feel the need to just fill up dead space. Good game, though. Oh, the other thing is, too, that part, I had to pay attention. It's like a difficulty spike over there. Really using them soul tethers now. I hope there's more weapons in this game than just this. These are cool weapons, make no mistake, they're all very, very good, but I hope by the time the game comes out, there will be more. Fuck. But yeah, I think I'm approaching probably the end of the levels for early access. And I think this game has a lot of potential. I think it's great. I wish I didn't have this weird teleporty stuttery problem. Can use some work around the edges with the UI, but I don't really have a lot bad to say about it. Maybe the levels are a little too big. But that's also kind of a stylistic choice. It's like shorter than Turok levels, but longer than Quake levels. But I really like this. I think this is fantastic. The engine feels really nice. It looks great. The weapons are cool. It's just a game that scratches an itch for the classic shooter. Probably better. Maybe, in my opinion, better than Aeon Fury, better than even Dusk. Well, maybe not Dusk, but I think I like the way this looks more than Dusk. This definitely, for me, has visuals that I appreciate a little more than Dusk, but Dusk is pretty great. Fuck. Did you finish Aeon Fury? I didn't. You know, it came out at the exact time where everything else was coming out. There's so many fucking video games that came out, and it's a massive game, and I kinda lost a little interest in it. I just found myself getting lost over and over and over again, and while I liked it, and I did enjoy what I played of it, I ended up going for secrets every chance I could get, and it would kind of just make me get lost and run around in circles like a dum-dum. So, it's a good game, I just didn't have time for it. Vinny, are you excited for Black Mesa? Oh dear lord, that's coming out too, the end of the... Oh, there's armor down that way. Yeah, so Black Mesa Source is almost done. Apparently, they made an announcement saying that it might come out this year, that they're just about done with Zen and the final boss, and they're testing it out. I know this has been said before. It was supposed to come out summer. Keep summer safe. Yeah, it was supposed to fully be released in summer, but that didn't happen. So you know, it might end up releasing around December. And if it does, I'm just gonna say, God damn it. Couldn't you wait until March of next year when there's no games coming out? Definitely not Animal Crossing, definitely not Half-Life Alyx, definitely not Doom, definitely not Final Fantasy VII Remake, definitely not Trials of Mana, definitely not Spelunky 2, definitely not Mega Man ZX Collection comes out March of next year too. Great. I'm probably gonna have to backburner that one a bit. Vinny, have you thought of cutting down your 2-hour stream into 10-minute chunks and uploading them every day? Could you imagine that? I was advised. I want you to know something, though. That was a joke, but I was advised to do that very early on. Not by Screenwave, but like super early on. That was like the good business model. Like you want to do that, and it'll make you more revenue if you cut your videos down. Like I'd be uploading 12 videos a day for one game. 24 videos a day. 24 videos a day. Imagine that. The thing is, it's one thing if you're only filming, say if you only film like once a week, you know, and you have an episode of a thing that's like 3 hours, and you cut that down into enough episodes to last a week. That makes sense. I mean, I stream every night, so you're getting uploads pretty much every day. And also too, like, you know, obviously the YouTube ad thing, that's, you know, some people do that, but you don't really need to do that anymore. You can just, if you want to be really, like, I don't want to say shitty, but you could be shitty, and you can put an ad every 10 minutes in your YouTube videos, instead of having to cut them up. But, I think if you're, doing a recording of a stream or of a thing, and you have an editor, or you yourself edit down the 10-minute chunks, and you do some extra work within the 10-minute chunks, so it's not just gameplay. Say you have to edit a 3-camera shoot, you have to edit audio, you want to do some cuts, you want to do some special effects. That makes sense then. That seems to be like a pretty decent way to go about it. If, I mean, I would still say don't, you know, do longer than 10 minutes. But for a little while in the early days of YouTube, it was highly encouraged that you do those 10 minutes. Also, YouTube changed a lot. Like, without going into the COPA thing, which means possibly more changes, I'm not sure. But YouTube changed a lot in the type of stuff that was profitable. At one point, 2 to 3 minute videos were the most profitable. And people would make those, and it pushed, like, animation and content like that. And then, as time went on, it became long-form content, which was then encouraged. So then you see people making videos 10 minutes and 1 second just to hit the 10-minute mark. Turns out, though, you know, my full-size videos don't get 1 million views, but people like them, and I, you know, I'm happy to see, even if, like, a full-size video gets 1,000 views, or 2,000 or 3,000, that's still a lot of people. So, whatever it is I end up doing, that many people watching my videos is pretty fucking cool. So I don't really need to, like, put bells and whistles on it. I'm pretty happy with that number. But there are ways to probably increase engagement and to, like, you know, divide it into certain episodes and put some editing on it. I don't know. I'm sure there is. But I found that, yeah, even now, YouTube promotes even longer form content than 10 minutes, which is why stuff like, you know, really, really long documentary styles things, or, like, you know, just some dude talking for 2 hours might get more of them numbers. But yeah, the highlights are, I love the highlights of my stuff. I think that it's a tradition that should continue, even if I'm not going to do the editing, because my heart's not in it and I don't have time for it. I'm happy that I have a team of really great editors that came together pretty organically, that ended up being really, really nice people that do great work. And they keep that tradition alive. It's not really for the money. Gotta be honest. It does well, but not like what it used to be. Blinded Secrets? Okay. Yeah, the highlight videos, they do pretty well in terms of numbers, but again, there's not really... Let's just say, if we didn't do that anymore, it wouldn't be a problem in my life in any way. But I'm happy we still do them, because they're great. They're honestly great, and people like them. Once in a while, I'll even watch them, and I think they're also really well done. But again, YouTube promotes longer form content. 2 hours. 3 hours. An hour. That seems to be what you gotta do now. As far as I'm aware. Based on algorithmic changes. Alright. I'm done for this. I think that's the only 2 levels in this game for now. Cool overworld, though. Really, really nice custom modification of the Quake engine. This feels like a good update to the classic first-person shooter. I'm gonna have to check it out again while I'm not streaming to see if I still get those weird laggy, jittery problems. But I'm looking forward to the full game. I think it's great. I genuinely think this is a fantastic game that can be something really special with a little bit more effort. And, you know, and also a game like this lives and dies by its level design. And I'll tell you that I've enjoyed most of the level design. Some of it's, I get a little lost, but way easier to navigate than like a Turok. And compelling enough and enough, really good encounters with the enemies, like a lot of good fights that I felt like I wanted to continue. I just, again, would love more weapons. So. Vinny, I just played the first level, was getting the same laggy, stuttery, inconsistent frame rate issues, can't seem to fix it. Well, I hope that, the developers manage to fix it. Because it deserves it. Alright everybody, thank you for listening to me ramble and watch me shoot for 2 hours. I will take now a quick break with a song that you might not expect to hear from me. But I'm going to play one of my guilty pleasure songs. And then... Star Wars. You know what song it is?
Shake, twain.
Kidding. Be right back.